Hey all, it's late and it's our last day here in Florida. And most of you know I'm reading this book called The Slight Edge, and I highly recommend this book. It doesn't matter where you're at in your life. You can apply it. You can apply it to anything at all. You can apply it to whatever your heart desires, whether it's saving money, losing weight, any kind of goal you have for the future, anything that you can think of. It's attainable. You have to believe in yourself. And I'm just gonna talk to you about chapter 4, one section in chapter 4. And chapter 4 is called Mastering the Mundane. And this is about I want to apply this to like direct sales, because a lot of people are negative when it comes to direct sale companies because they believe it's only for that 1%, and only the 1% make it to the top of the company, and the other people are just underneath them and they won't make any money at all. So I want to read to you about chapter 4 because I'm going to change your mind about that, okay? Hopefully. Okay, so what do those people do who make it to the top, who make it successful in business or whatever endeavors they do in life? What do they have that you don't have? Nothing. So what do the 5% do differently? Let's ask yourselves the question first. How many people do you know that are successful? Not just financially successful, but successful in every aspect of their life. Vibrant, healthy, plenty of good friends, people who are full of energy and curiosity, always learning new things, and excited about life. How many people like that do you know? Successful as in people whose lives are clearly working for them. And you feel like, why is their life working for them and why is mine not working for me? What do they have that I don't have? And then you think to yourself, okay, I'm gonna keep going on because the book keeps going on, but you think to yourself sometimes negative, because I do know that I've been guilty of that myself. You think, you don't deserve it, or you're lacking in some way because you don't have what they have. So I'm gonna read what it goes on to say. It says it's gonna talk about the person more. So it says, the person who makes you smile and feel instantly at ease even as you stand in awe of her accomplishments, his or her accomplishments. The person who is so genuinely engaged and plugged into life that he somehow or she somehow makes you feel better about yourself just being in their presence. Not that they don't have problems or face challenges or suffer setbacks and hurdles like everyone else, but they always land on their feet. Their lives just seem to go right for them. They are winners in their game of life. So how many people do you know like that? And the book goes on to say, my guess is not many. Let's be honest. Most people are struggling to keep their heads above water. So true. And I don't mean financially, just financially. Struggling to keep from digging deeper and deeper into debt. Struggling to keep their health from slipping. Struggling to manage everything in their busy lives without stressing out. How true is that? Struggling to juggle their friendships and relationships with everything else tugging away at them. Life often feels like a race with someone constantly moving the finish line further and further away. Not for everyone, of course. There are those for whom life somehow just seems to work. But they aren't the majority. They're the 5%, the 1 in 20. The 1 in 20 is achieving a significant measure of his or her goals in life, financial, professional, personal, in terms of relationships, in terms of health, in whatever terms you want to look at. 1 in 20. or 5%, which means 95% are falling short, which prompts the question, what is the difference between the 5% and what are they doing that the 95% aren't doing? I'll tell you what it's not. It's not due to hereditary. It's not due to education. It's not due to looks, talent, inheritance. It isn't by chance. And it isn't an abundance of sincere wanting and wishing. The 5% don't want success more than anyone else. They don't wish for it more, pray for it more, envision it more, or hope for it more. And it isn't that they deserve it more either. Hey, we all want our lives to be successful. We all hope and wish for it. And you know what? We all deserve it. So true. But the 5% all understand the power of the slight edge and how it's working for them or against them. They may not use the words slight edge to describe it. They may not even see what they do as being guided by a philosophy, but that's exactly what it is. So what's your philosophy? I'm going to ask you that. What is your philosophy? That's from me. What is your philosophy? So then it goes on to a story about a Steve. Okay, I want to tell you about this Steve. Okay, Steve went into high school and he wanted to be a performer, but he couldn't sing, he couldn't dance, and he couldn't act. And he once quoted after he became successful, "Perseverance is a great substitute for talent." I love that quote. How hour after hour, day after day, he struggled. He studied magic tricks, taught himself the banjo, tried out lines on anyone who would listen, and worked at turning his quirky sense of humor into bits that would hopefully not completely fall flat in front of an audience. Did this for years with little evidence, at least not at first, that he was really getting anywhere. And 15 years later, Steve was the single biggest audience draw in the history of stand-up comedy. Do you know which Steve that is? Can you guess? Put it in the comments if you know which one that is. And I'll tell you if you're right. What did he have? He had the slight edge. The slight edge is the force behind the amazing power of compound interest. Whatever you're after, whatever you want to create in your life, or whatever kind of life you most passionately want to live, the slight edge is the way to get it. That's the difference between the 5% and everyone else. They know how to use the slight edge, and they do it. Do the thing and gain the power. If you learn to understand and apply the slight edge, I will guarantee that in time, less time than you would imagine, you will have what you desire. You will be among the 5%. As a matter of fact, he guarantees it in this book so much that he offers to give you your book free if you don't succeed. Crazy, right? So how do you get this slight edge? Okay, I'm going to tell you. The first ingredient is your philosophy. There is a photo that I posted with this. I want you to figure out what your philosophy is, okay? The second ingredient is time. Time. You gotta give it time, okay? So philosophy is what you know, how you hold what you know, and how it affects what you do. Show me what a man does, and I will show you his philosophy. Successful people feel their way to the top. It takes time, and there might be some failure along the way. That doesn't mean you need to give up, but a lot of us do. The slight edge is the first ingredient. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decided to be. Now, I am paraphrasing this whole book a lot. This is all in chapter 2 here about the philosophy. Okay? Be a bum or be a millionaire. You have both inside you. We all do. What makes the difference in how things turn out? You. You. It's actually you. The truth is, you have complete control over the direction that the rest of your life takes. The same activities that take us from failure to survival would also take us from survival to success if we just kept doing them. Also, focusing on the actions, the what to do's, and the how to do it's is not enough, because it's the attitude. What is your attitude? Do you have a negative attitude? Do you have a positive attitude? So it's your attitude behind the actions that keep those actions in place. A positive philosophy turns into a positive attitude, which turns into a positive actions, which turns into a positive result, which turns into a positive lifestyle, a positive life. In the same way, a negative philosophy turns into a negative attitude, which turns into a negative action, which turns into a negative result, which turns into a negative lifestyle. The slight edge is relentless and cuts both ways. You can do the thing and go up, or you can not do the thing and go down. And there's a graphic as well. Used productively, it carries you up towards success. Used carelessly, it pulls you down towards failure. So back to that second ingredient, which is time. What is it you want to accomplish in life? What is it you want to do? Can you make 10 minutes a day? 10 minutes. Just give it 10 minutes a day. If you want to do 20 or 30, that's great. But could you do 10 minutes a day? Could you carve out 10 minutes every single day so you could have a positive life? Okay? So if you wanted to read a really good book like this, could you carve out 10 minutes a day? Could you read 10 pages a day? Yes, you can if you really want to. So do the things that are going to get you where you want, what you want, and where you want to be in life, right? It's a choice. It's all about your philosophy and your time. So simple, productive actions repeated consistently over time. And he gave an example about his mom. His mom was a single mother who supported 3 kids and worked 2 jobs. And he was having a conversation with his mom later in life. And she said, "I'm a millionaire." And he's like, "Huh, what?" His mom managed to be able to save $10 to $12 every week for years. All that money compounded, creating interest and all. She retired as a millionaire. Imagine if you saved just $5 every week or $20 a month, where you would be 10, 12, 15, 20 years from now. Can you do that? Could you manage that? It's a choice. Most people don't stick to the simple daily discipline it takes to get where they want to go because they don't know how to look ahead for enough along the curve to see the results they are creating. Little steps compounded do make a difference. The things you do every single day, the things that don't even look like they matter, they not only make a difference, they make all the difference. Have faith in the process of simple, positive actions. Repeated over time. The truth or the faith that miracles really do happen if you know when to trust the process. For better or for worse, you are making that choice every day, every hour, and the impact of those choices, for better or worse, will spread out over the surface of your life. The slight edge will help you learn habits of thought and action that will allow you to choose wisely. It will give you the power to choose smiles, encouraging words, friendship and relationships, careers and accomplishments, so that you can blossom. And then there's personal stories from readers, and I will get into those later. Actually, I'll just take a picture of them and I'll post them in the comments or in the post as well. I hope you guys have a great evening. I will share more about this book. It's amazing. So those were some excerpts from chapter 2 and chapter 4 that I kind of mushed together. So hope you have a great night. Bye.